The point was
line and
her in terms of enthusiasm.
Been given as this media superstar. Readers aren't going to be
the adorable
As a camp.
because they think this guy is credible. Really a total
go. They
No, I agree.
Listen, this is what me put this note. After
there's an
I think that is because
Ronan Farrow's book Catch and Kill, guide editors in
faux fur
that
subjects Lauer spoke with in this piece.
being fashioned for
radical
Account of their conversation was so
Interesting.
yes.
a lawsuit against the of his book.
Disappointment.
For that reason.
Look, John, you know, publishers at least
Get them either
They
go through all circus
line company called
something if he
in any book. They check them Sunday. They challenge.
newer that we
Can you tell me what
Was the fact checking? How could this book possibly written
codes and
I just don't see them.
all the sources to make sure people were
the prices are
Loaded term.
well. It happens because Farrow is perceived.
Instagram feed.
I think that what was going to happen.
That's the most dangerous thing that can happen. And any seen this dozens
Times, you know, you
Suppose there's aliens in it.
and no vetting gets done. But as far as the law is concerned, as you know,
so it's good to have.
Was moved that
burden here is incredibly high. Matt has kept his
Very fashion.
or something like that.
do it, but in practice, and he and I have talked about this would go down.
We can't.
Made that clear.
Was process that going in all sorts
In the summer, they
You know,
reform ruled that out. I'll tell you what else though. I'll tell you who is
and
Oh yeah.
saying yes, there's UFO.
former editor of the National Enquirer. He Ronan Farrow.
told me about, and you sent me.
Needs people.
That Farrow wrote about him, the book, some of which even is totally false.
That untimely.
And
I don't know whether or not Matt Lauer will be doing, but I can tell you,
Of toast.
or the line of least resistance.
Matt Lauer did not rape this woman. Didn't do his job.
And at the time,
If it's unpopular.
Accountable. They want to because he's essentially big to fail. This
of course, Holly.
We're able to get the people.
example of how broken the news media possibly imagine.
Event would
You know, and
I said to you, did you show the morning show? When
did 5-star
it would happen.
that's close to what happened. Though at the end of
were so clearly
For the people to
and kind of a rapist, but
That you
that episode, this is
Teeth behind closed.
you were really kind of
he's going along
fun. It was really
fingerprints, as it were.
changing the point of view, and they're not looking and they're looking to him.
and they were actually
sinister.
People absolutely destroying good people. Look, the guy had an affair,
there.
I just think he.
and maybe that's against your court, but it happens all.
And even better,
That was the impression.
And it's going to continue to happen. But we've got destroying people.
Oh, that's great.
Arm's length about.
This to go on, and Arrow,
You know, a bunch of.
Documentary and a film and all.
this one going to be remembered as McCarthy.
of some of the most
May wanted to.
McCarthy had some things, but
there to have a good time.
It is out on the limb. We all.
worst messenger and people that were.
That there was a.
Okay, well, that was.
He's so discredited for
At that point in the.
You've given me.
our country that it became a joke and helped
What it was about.
doing a UFO.
so far. So many lives by this
DL 1960.
I just never took.
activities. I think we're in the same as the new red.
A short sleeve.
And you're giving.
They're not covered this with Matt Lauer. He's on a black.
Party for the
Main thing I'm going to say.
He's dead to everybody. It's the Hollywood black.
on the jacket.
Sure.
I appreciate that.
Going to be remembered in the end as a guy who
Jacket.
Good.
did things that destroyed people.
Clothing to the
The original.
He had power, and in the end, he
selling really.
Carrie Ann.
that has been done by the Me Too movement because nobody's going to.
Want to buy for their baby.
If I'm not mistaken.
Well, you're right, Glenn. You have more faith
Idea. This is what.
I mean, one of.
because I think everybody who's in charge here did in a narrative.
So you and I.
They can't go against Ronan Farrow. Had the good
In a lot of.
glancing blow because they're afraid of
Just the places that.
He was.
the media culture, the elite media club. It's a
Visit New York, maybe.
With him on this for months.
out of the popular kids club, right?
Yeah.
You want to be. You want to be.
Some iconic and some.
You know,
I was the kid that never cared about that. This is a shock.
You tend to gravitate.
This is what's important to them. Their
Tell is
keeping their alleged ability, and the easiest way to
of course get a little like
since, as you say, they went.
Farrow to you get because you heard you get
it's or the public.
To the.
character in that TV show. I think Matt.
Which has been there.
Of the crew.
I think that when
Right.
you're almost like an animal in a zoo for too long,
Some private event.
Put together.
not
Yep.
see what was coming for him.
John, thank you so much.
Bay Area and as long
Article.
At John Ziegler at
where you and I spent a lot.
That phase.
find his article at media.glenbeck.com. Our sponsor this
Easy and chill.
Sure, I wasn't there.
recruiter. Nothing in our way
Velvet.
And all that.
except our conditions and overcome them.
Great props for photo.
Of Hal for a long.
Of course, isn't going to be easy. If you're willing to do it,
City you want to get away from.
Chris Mellon and
looking for a job, I want you to go to ZipRecruiter/work together.
Others warm, especially
Great people looking for a job to ZipRecruiter.
me to partner with them.
listening stories they had to tell.
Will also, if you're on the hiring end, we have algorithms,
Out one of Holly.
The people that we
right person for the job that you, if you are hiring
So
revealed,
together, find the right for that job. And
So fun.
people that
for you, it's ZipRecruiter/work together.
Want a partner these days?
people understood.
Is the Glenbeck program.
So I called.
Everybody laughed at when
Child Star is in.
very big names.
Woody Folsom.
The news 10 MBs.
also a lot of fun.
Number
Shop online.
Right through the
It's an Instagram project.
protecting sources.
South Peterson and Doug.
fair tonight will be in the
Is going
Ironically, after which
And no payments for
in the
for TV shows.
trying to be really
Gate and Compass.
Bell stations.
Shoot for
this narrative.
Ran 1,500.
Johnson. Chris
yeah.
Version of the UFO phenomenon.
America, and we will get
an accident or other incident.
But often
So
Chrysler Capital Finance.
3803.
dance. But it's
was enough.
God bless you big time.
Days and in
We know. I mean, look at.
You fool.
Impresses.
integrity is way more
He had a dog.
On $10,000.
ex-clients brag
Big Instagram star.
There were reasons why
You drive more.
585
And she's got a lot of
We don't know.
And you've practiced how to.
personal injury.
shoots and
Alice, just don't lie.
Sir, a woman.
Wait to get help.
very much
No, and we will protect.
Even though the log.
From the comfort of your
in the Big Apple.
But
Because nothing says.
is open from 9 a.m.
only cafe.
believing
And broke. Because.
50 East South.
A little bit over a year.
only analysis we really.
Google, who's the dick?
Show world is open.
So, yeah.
In the military.
See. Grab your telly.
Clothing and treats and dogs.
Industrial complex sitting.
Fully equipped office. No worries.
And in fact,
The researcher.
And accept most. Pick up.
which is basically
Grains of gold in
Accommodates all your needs. Show world.
Netflix series.
there's more. And
1679. User friendly. Do it.
Was called something.
and that kind of
Has to say, hey,
To your dock. This.
Yeah, and it's big.
and this is very
You already asked my design or custom set.
In the last,
that was really
Are you serious? Yay in Lakeville.
of course, there are all the outs.
but we want
To continue to give
And hanging out on the bed.
indirect
26,000
Which has, yeah,
how they are either.
one of the many ways
Puccini, which
shortly, and I want to.
couple weeks. And we were
and then of course
Responding to what
so much.
so open and he
intelligence community source.
Loves you. And as all
and then of course there's open.
or online at
Bowbridge and Bethesda.
Military and
or visit Osteen's
Over
Yeah.
and good.
There's so
That. So it's
92.1.
where can people follow?
and as
It is Wednesday. I mean to see if anybody.
is on Instagram.
I guess the feed.
Yeah, and one of the things I think is important for audience because but
Continued success.
I'm really rooting for the guy. And Pharaoh is somebody who is
This is in
It would absolutely.
the Me Too movement, and he is a guy who
Tina for
In terms of why the secrecy.
the Supreme Court. People forget that he was the guy credence
Such a pleasure, Jody.
By the military.
people, the gang rape and all
I know.
And to keep.
against Kavanaugh. He was the guy who got into the mainstream.
Station. Every
blew it.
Of course, Lauer's out there. He didn't do these things before, and he's trying to defend it.
so good. We love
Lou Elizondo.
Count of this. He's. I believe me.
him to discover the design.
I mean, the
Ronan Farrow said the source of this.
Barkandswagger.com.
purpose of this thing was to fix.
Never even called me, let alone got the story right. Then media.
Here's fashion call.
The State Department was doing.
Lauer lying about it. So we have 7 or 8 different. Only on Pet.
I want to come back.
The fact that Ronan Farrow is doing good. He's just not doing.
Got a couple of promos to put up.
program.
Let's talk.
I'm here with.
21.com.
I'm Audrey Land.
About a lot of things, but
Every night is really, really important. Talk about mattresses
KGRA.
like street lights, car headlights, the rise outside of your think. That's why you want to consider blades for your bedroom.
so glad you're joining us.
blind shades, interior shutters with easy.
And Diane's got to do.
Now's the time to maybe work a little in your house, get some things.
Police
Improvements. If you're nervous about doing it yourself, if you want blind.
And it's going to be
this process, you can talk to one of their phone or online.
Have a super.
One less thing to worry about. Blind stop. Go there now. See there.
Everybody's going to get excited.
Arkansas.
Consultation and restrictions may apply.
Right after this,
TV at Bob.
You know, poor is the root cause of health problems.
Does your dog?
Huge selection of
every dog food on the market and still is a picky eater.
For life.
Pick up
films every week.
Dead food. And there's no live nutrient. They need live.
With all natural coconut.
Every week.
Invented rough greens. I'm naturopathic doctor. And rough green.
Rub, rinse away.
Packing for
Live nutrients they need for superior health. 5 picky dogs.
There's a whole
Eating rough greens. Take the rough greens 14 challenge today for just
race. People go through
14 days or less. Go to .com/Beck
and join us.
see the movie.
/Beck. Greens. So good.
Listen, Police Academy
With this new human.
Was like, hey, y'all.
Patient needs. Our
Series. Put it down.
Boys, homework.
arrange for pickup and
Much for having me. I'm excited.
And guess what?
All mean.
calls. Victor
Truth novels all cut.
Sir Pat. Be that.
Cook County Ford.
virtually on our
Because not
now streaming on Amazon.
Fair and honest way.
trade-ins. Finance.
Zoo in Fort Worth.
Steven Spielberg.
Safest, cleanest.
Victor Canandaigua.
And so
Edgar Mitchell said, I
Deliver. In
Deals or any services.
the zoo.
expanded directors.
How's his teeth?
Chevrolet.com.
The Super Sleuth.
I want you to meet.
Oh, that was dumb.
Now, more than
Even a
fact that Ronnie McMullen.
92.1.
10:40 a.m.
Nearby.
Came up with this amazing.
This hour from Tom, Comrade.
All the other different jungle.
Good. How you doing, Mike?
Waters are literally emergency due to that is forced.
It's kind of stuck.
Story. I'll make it quick.
Officials say that chemical plant there and Midland
That had gotten washed out.
Was in there. Get.
Whitmer declared this really is a disaster. Correct proportion. This
11, 12 years ago.
rain. Whitmer says if you're right now is
There was some type of.
We want to get clean.
at least partially
Or a friend. Also in the state that
Also issues.
Go to get the tea.
infected though.
if you go to one of the
To
Second about the
2000. The flood zone between 4 and
situations and
the field of UFOs.
equipment. Couple of dams. And up
so kind of
By ordinary people.
medical and consumer to waive
An opportunity to add.
It's all there. And
Told me.
Based the baby powder. It's in Canada.
Domesticated animals.
.com.
I was taking.
Jay alleging powder caused user
A domestic.
Very,
strikes the lungs and others of the cases that
how much money you've got to buy.
this would be good.
trials. Johnson and it will continue to send
My father.
By the military.
Right now.
Russia.
and is ordering Prime Minister
Up in age, and so he.
Tough business.
Start your journey today.
on Sunday. Lawyers had asked the
Cats and everything is gonna.
Going to balance of
25 point. More on these stories.
The parent learns the.
For the disastrous.
Not to hear a commercial. Our unique mortgage team
Can sing.
Was a lie.
lifelong money. To know. 1.
That's right. That's right.
Believed to be a
Health officials have. We've grown to be a faith mortgage team that's
And maybe
Trade Center.
We should
arrest later today. Hi. Still stayed fairly.
The eighth book in this.
That American
Ago, he died. Leave lets us truly know calls, but
And she.
That's the weight of this.
American which means our use its own money and make it
Cop. He's very.
official. Back on the air for long rate, which could save you lifelong money.
And I'm
Alert and not.
Is the DBA of United Mortgage Corp. Melbourne, New York, licensed mortgage banker.
for her the.
With our people.
By Georgia, Massachusetts.
Here's the
He lets her slide.
can do for your
And pay discount.
Bonds president.
weather out there. Will
Dog is going to make a good.
You're locked in.
Where else you want.
One part of it's all.
agree is cooler by
Soon realizes that.
The latest on Richard.
Right now at
In a speech.
gorgeous day with sun.
In life, really.
Back to the pro.
155.
Parity.
That's how.
Stop butting heads.
Debate continues.
Did the Taiwanese lead?
People are on.
Real hope is
Governments in the face.
Issue with China.
This often leads
of these cases.
Having such a
Capitol Hill regarding
Region Air Shuttle.
it creates some people.
More help, and there's never.
your
Republican Congress.
Bill the carriers.
Diagnosed with cancer.
To read the
that I can use here.
More than other red states.
.com.
Following the recommendation.
more and more under their wing.
Been take
California and
Rule to require more.
So what are the
so my presentation.
their budgets.
Those jobs, the league.
5-5.
two? I know obviously.
For a couple of weeks.
They actually tax their.
At least one minute.
Please know that
Things that
Who were in it.
Of the coronavirus.
Who won the Pittsburgh
Supreme Court heard
The zoo.
and all the rest of it. And
Hard for.
you have gone.
same standard as other,
Taking the animals is getting.
That,
Needed to the rule.
Maintain continuity.
Synopsis and send it in.
Consciously
because their state finances.
Team facilities keeping.
here to tag team
Appears as a rhino.
the truth. I mean, there's a lot of just
Radio.
Throwing session.
abortion is safer than these individuals. Is
Get help. Change. Tweets are.
Schumer yelled threat.
I got to see my daughter.
In factual day.
Sun Smart Home.
Folios can fade.
Hit you if you go for
Figured out how the heck I'm.
origin sources, but everything
Wind is from the north. Listed strategies.
standards of care
getting the
they can't discuss. They
Showers with a low in the mid. Financial advisors.
full transcript. How much they
40s. This is Stephen Tran with all
Confiscation is on.
what about rhino?
contours of it as they
busy times and management services.
Before it's too late.
I came into it from a
Next services do. Meet your specific need.
Let us do the work.
When the
relationship was there.
Open Monday through Friday. Plus the opportunity.
Plus ethanol.
your experience at
Are astounding, and I
Or 26.9.
RCN is not as
The Avon Gas.
call it and
encounter
1450 Radio Network.
95.5 Watt.
law enforcement.
and it's
Times of conflict.
concerned.
what you're about is the
Mystery.
It's really the reason.
enlightenment. This is the Glenn Beck.
Definitely gave me a broader.
Implications that you just
Hello, America is something
Cases can kind of.
not to mention that
cover, but you know it, and we go in 1 minute.
That
maybe 15 years or
there's not enough.
say that I
This half hour, it's rough. My dog is the bat.
And definitely enough for my.
Great and so active. To him about going to
Former life as
all his senses
and say, "Who's that vicious?" There you are. The wags his tail, so I don't.
him constantly.
A little more information.
He is so active around and being.
And she had her 2 cats to
That's because we started using some on top of his food.
Canine series.
The innermost of the innermost.
FF Greens, and you can get it at .com.
To have fun being.
They are
Probiotics, healthy bacteria, all the things that your dog.
A lot of risks, that's
the real greatest.
He has changed so much in the last months.
being so
Is significantly
soft. Where he's always been pretty soft. He's like a mink coat.
As a writer, especially when
some kind of intersect.
Anyway, he's just changed.
Some of the characters can.
But I know a number of them.
With puppies now, and just doesn't work. Rough Greens are
oftentimes
kindred spirits.
Greens.com/Beck. Try it days and see if you
expect the comedian to always.
And there's always
833-33-33.com/
highlights
relationships.
GNC. It's one of these days. All right, it's
then come back to
with the aviary
technology that we put in or
into that, and it's
when I went to work from home, that none of this technology.
A little bit more about the
people in the intelligence.
It's not working. I'm in a paperless studio.
Started all that.
Yet with this
in front of me, because all of the papers are not
rights on pet.
Put off semi-van milk.
So I'm kind of bluffing my way through the show today.
Exact.
Of insiders.
I wanted to get Jason Buttrill on with Jason,
and host of Animal.
Guy who really went neck into you.
Really understand what you're.
Joe Biden. Nobody's checked. There's a couple of
learning to communicate with.
I would.
At area discovering, but
communicate with animals.
UFOs.
Because it involves Joe Biden. Jason.
At a deeper level.
Curtain. I think.
And wow. 2 huge stories dropped within about 24
from your animals.
The people who have had.
I think that is on purpose. Really a good thing, but again.
Else, I get it.
The prosecutor general that hired and the quit. Shokin, and he's been actor just for the longest time. Radio.
If you just look at that,
said, "Hey, I was mistreated." And
it's on Pet Life Radio.
Of other
term that's out in the public now. Joe Biden's name, and
so Diane, let's.
Yeah, we do want to talk about that.
Media's been all over this, on it nonstop. Nobody, but
from being
X-Files on this.
Joe Biden looks like he did a criminal. He did the quid pro.
Law enforcement.
In body maybe in
just swept under the rug. No one's heard about it, but general now the
author, or was it like?
I go back to that same
actual criminal investigation. Biden in Ukraine.
A little bit lighter. Well,
hang on. This is a really big. Make sure that you.
So when.
And
it's a criminal nation.
And my boyfriend.
And
so it's our bar, and
I worked as
very strong. My own.
Joe Biden saying, told them, they want the money.
Major for undergrad.
Technology that didn't.
Before I get on the airplane, and he said Obama out it.
The Attorney General's office.
I'm sure they absolutely.
No, he wasn't. He was attorney.
Issues. The civil.
That they've got something.
He was just on, and
there's not going to be much work.
And so they swept him out, but no ever filed.
For doing all kinds.
That there is,
except for Joe Biden, currently Barack Obama.
But they hadn't even
out there, and it's been.
As we on our saw it, and
from there, my husband got
a statement from
the United States. People from the United States.
Firm doing.
I was going to say yes, isn't it?
Rid of this guy, discredit him. Well, he won.
Nice guy.
to change.
Things that have been hidden are now coming out. And what happened?
It worked for my car.
Riveting, fascinating.
So now it came.
And they're also got arrested.
With you, I think that
They're trying to pressure or the prosecutor
Sent to the state.
and
ruled in the favor that you should investigate him. And so that's the court document.
Confirmed and committed.
I would think so. I mean,
Almost simultaneously, the audio tapes.
White collar crime.
talked to
In first in 2015, audio tapes between phone conversation between
There and
an hour.
that leaked somehow. Now, encrypted call.
something fun for
And then he goes,
Air Force One, something like that. But that phone call.
Barney.
astonishing. I mean,
Joe Biden's about to come on. He wants this choke and fired.
all that. So I took
with the Hornets was under
Other phone conversations. There's about 10 of them in all. But
people there that I'm still
point.
Specifically saying it sounds exactly like it's him. They haven't been verified.
Writers of America.
It was 6 days.
Him saying, I want this prosecutor general, Petro Poroshenko,
And
Radar, we don't know what.
fire. Now, a lot reporting on this. The
projects in school.
And
they're leaving out a very, very important part of the phone call. Imagine that.
And at first it was just a
C is something
Like, hey, this is something. But when you actually, I've read all the transcripts. I've
news and learned how to do that.
starts and stops.
This is a quote. Poroshenko says, despite any corruption charges on,
If I don't decide,
And then taking off again.
I asked him to resign. Now, none of the West.
this into
But also remember,
Poroshenko saying, look,
So he said that on. He said that on.
better thing than that, right?
sorry, the state of the art.
to Joe Biden. To Joe Biden, because Joe Biden, that guy,
Assume you don't have to worry about it.
And observers.
nothing wrong.
Do we
evidence of
have,
wrong?
or is that only a?
This is on.
You can listen to Poroshenko
Okay.
say that specific.
How much you have to divert to
Carrying ordinance.
Control room. I'm sorry, but I mean I'm flying by the for 2 hours.
just getting started. So
They were going to follow.
Could somebody control room cut that? Make sure the control room
here's a telecom.
Oh, the UAP. The
back. Maybe next hour. Play that audio.
Then I'll.
and
Now, one more thing. In the
Publishing and
it's a
email to her, Susan Rice,
point definitely help.
for obvious.
and it shows now that President Obama
Now compared to what you used to do.
Later, and
Biden was there, that they were Flynn.
and another 2 pilots.
Yeah, so it's real. Emails getting redacted.
Crazy place in there.
Maneuvering them like crazy.
Was that they were specifically talking about information.
Jungle, you got some.
In his voice as well.
One was very specifically they were like
Ordered. How do you keep the
physics? It violates.
Do with the Russians and Flynn specifically
novels.
Yep.
Necessarily have known
his calls with the Russian.
And he's working.
He knows this, except me.
Right, but they knew at the time they had
And
I'm here waiting.
Right.
A mere hours.
Well, it's going to.
These kinds of sightings.
This is the very next day. So they're saying, look, he's not even a.
Alternate. So that's when I brought.
Yeah, right.
Saying, hey, I don't know. Maybe we should this Flynn thing.
Under their wing for the
being made for those.
Just continue to buy into the Trump campaign. Really, no question.
30 and you talk.
Oh my gosh, what we are preparing right. Absolutely insane.
I wonder who else is out there.
Well, at the very least.
Over in
Did you find it?
In and.
Which is a very.
Do you would, man? We talked about
when
fascinating because
knowing that a potential.
And we saw the Italian.
Your fans.
Communications, which are.
And we kind of just looked at each other off the set, and I was like,
but like you
decrypt.
Going to find out. Really? Can you give me?
Or someone else.
Belongs in Hollywood, and it's
And,
Interpret the data.
involves all Western intelligence agencies appearing at one spot.
similarities between each thing.
Nomenclature and their
Not
Together. And does it feel
I couldn't.
specifically, but specific German,
go or maybe even a week?
To
multiple different spots. They all gather in a very specific person.
Learn too. So
he describes perform.
Multiple different spots, including allegedly.
What about being a?
That's a whole other aspect.
Including.
You know what this is? See,
Ants? Are you?
What this is? What is the with the?
Oh my gosh, 2 weeks before.
And how the military.
What is the new James Bond? Spectre.
and I do.
Okay, or a U.S.
The new James real are looking for.
And also, I like.
And we just if we combine thing, we'll
Find my books in advance.
Low.
It's almost like that was that the
See, that's like setting out.
What I recovered from.
working together with Trump, or I'm sorry, the Obama.
Finding technique.
Can't quite see it.
Foster this deep state.
From somebody else, but
The craft looks.
John Brennan was getting not
call them as the day and date.
Fuzzy, but they also.
channels. He was getting this information from British. They're
The set.
of the ordinary. Why was he doing it? Well, the CIA and John Brennan, American citizens.
I'll have
Even longer.
Their intelligence agencies operate under those rules and target U.S. citizens.
along. All of a sudden, I'll know.
Aspect is the fact that the
Future.
Okay, good. Thank you so much.
And I'll go in and tweet.
and
We'll just squeak in someplace next hour. All right.
And write myself into it.
and that's something that
Back to the show. First, let me tell you about American. You
know quite a few.
to resist Earth's draft.
financing right now. You really need to. Financing.net.
In my belief is
Those that they use.
And or call. They're waiting for your 10 minutes. A phone.
it's a series in particular.
We know that can.
Save every month. You own your own home. And
Went back
In November of 2000.
January of this year. And say
Things around, and all of a sudden,
December of 2017.
year the rates were 0%. If
this year, and it has a cap.
7.
from the beginning of the year you're paying point too much
Point of view, and in this new.
The 2004.
of your loan, but could be a lot of money to you every single month.
A cozy mystery series.
That was going on.
You kidding me? If high interest credit card
Because they were more procedural.
Matter.
able to pay that off, have hundreds if not
Be a piece.
Encounters with FC.
things. Kind of difference in your life. Call them.
Who's that either or either.
I interviewed a number.
Just call them at 800-9040 800
And I began to panic.
Right outside.
financing.net. Do it now. American.net.
Index cards and
That the
www.nm plus consumer access.
fact, the other clue.
if
Weekdays new. Reset, so I'm going to say.
I kind of stored
utterly
there, but it
Kate,
All right. Welcome to the program.
a process because it.
the Tic Tac.
Have you seen, Stu, the chloroquine story?
I think it's always a good.
And so I have a heart.
Donald Trump has been speaking, and now, what's his
Trying to have
Leave Elizondo.
on television about how this is irresponsible and it's like drinking
will admit I'll be the first.
On.
that. No, it's not like drinking Clorox. It's ridiculous.
Go with this.
Encounters with this.
Love, because he's on saying there's no scientific proof.
Figuring out,
That the ATIP
And yet, because of his crazy ass doctor,
when everybody picks up
21st century eliminate.
in this doctor a little bit, Dr. Moon.
Yeah, it's pretty much her
own book.
Is we had
wife runs a lifestyle zine slash.
When they read this book,
deliberate attempt.
Goop, look sane.
It's very
life is tough.
Be successful. At least
it's that type of. It's really free, new age treatment.
Well, if it's to entertain myself.
You have a culture.
Science at all embraces all of them. I mean, we joke
A little something.
Blended the two.
Bathing in bleach, cure COVID.
Loss of habitat.
So the
qualifier of only a certain amount in a large blah 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 blah.
Debate.
By the ridicule.
Chris Cuomo is on TV, and you might say, well,
where they should be.
Time of, my wife's completely nuts, and she says.
About it.
But that's a culture, though, right?
But I mean, you could disagree with your wife, right? Kidding about Tanya, but
yeah, and you draw that.
And
she totally sees the world differently than be a defensible.
And
somewhere,
who is well known as a
as a pure pleasure,
a close,
and has started all sorts of. She has all views about
drawing the zoo and
many of these sightings,
your illness and all these things. Correct. Doctor that not only
am escaping, but how
I think basically,
but also treated Cuomo for COVID-19.
A little bit more often I
sign their names onto the
anything that has talked about
can lead to.
Let's keep this out of.
But I want to go back.
Treated that way and on the site as
Paul the Jungle by
instant problem
to give out. That's that type of advice.
All right, so
going on.
Each independent.
And if you remember our story about gin and tonic,
Online.
The DOD, for instance.
Tonic, the tonic for malaria, and it was
Find indie bookstore.
But it hasn't been there.
And it fights malaria. It's time, all right.
NEK.
Concerned until
making quinine from the bark. Naturalist.
Of all my books and.
Okay.
It's quinine, except it's made instead of
Author Diane Kelly.
That this is a.
I'm just.
While he's on TV, it's ridiculous.
Dog videos. That's.
I interviewed the Australian.
He was taking the role. The
Twitter at Diane.
Extraordinary guy.
Quinine, where was just better living,
and everybody
makes him so good.
Chemical compound, just pharmaceuticals.
I get those funny little
acronyms and nomenclature.
Chris, why would you cut on a tree? It's bark. Oh my!
Another wonderful book.
Everything, but he knows.
People have gone absolutely nuts. And is willing to hold any.
Well, we're coming to
FOIA requests
in the media being more continuous than Chris Cuomo.
The producers
file his requests.
Other people going outside while the protocol
show or here.
Dog piece a few months ago.
He's interacting with site of quarantine.
People you want to hear.
Next aerospace weapon.
On a news network that will not criticize doing so.
Goes on them.
And
you actually read it. She just everything they did. Treat themselves.
Next time, why do great.
Do you have any thoughts on this?
Way in the state of New York. So that's a whole element of this.
Who knows? You maybe
was that why
licensed quote unquote doctors like, and so every week on to.
I mean, there's
that they were being treated in, but all of these descriptions
where
she's having temperature spikes. Because there's a full moon.
You're attacked by a bear.
That entails.
So, yeah.
Come on. They're the moon is
love on you.
Any kind of aerosol.
Closer to the skin.
Sure. That's the way it works. Again.
Sure, he's about 100.
Come down.
What, you can treat yourself with bark all you need? That's fine.
They're both real.
Mary Reef started
For having
something that has scientific backing.
VITE.
Involved with it for 10 years.
19. And not even
Acid. Flax.
I mean, I think
doesn't even disclose all this stuff is happening. Doesn't even say, look, my
We'll be scooping her down.
aerospace or whatever.
says he should be honest about nothing like that.
Of course not.
It's
Nutrition.
You know, very good art.
This is the Glenn Beck.
I get my
real estate agents, I've been a little Mad Mac. Will,
Diner pet sweater.
I mean, yeah.
I mean, you know, of a, armored truck,
Your pets, including.
But I mean, that happened.
transporting gasoline road trip here on my vacation. I'm not going to say.
Their Tammy hats.
Wait, I have no idea. Yesterday said they think that
Opening. Visit.
I worked for HIP. I didn't work.
over 30%. Hopefully,
Way ready. Large.
HIP.
as we open. Let's get through it. One thing that is opening up. Real estate boom going on right now. Starting to sell.
Where you can all.
Problem is.